Hi everyone, it's your girl Natasha Chef again. I don't even know why I say that. I think I picked it up from a fellow friend. um, but once again, it's Natasha Chef, and I'm have another video to share with you. Well, to share with you guys today about a very interesting topic. It's going to be a little bit interactive, so work with me today. So, I'm playing my calypso music in the background, and I'm sitting here in my office, and I wanted to definitely talk to you guys about food. There's so much going on with food, like once again, and I'm gonna turn it down so you guys can hear me because I don't want to shout in the video. But the interesting thing that I want to talk about today with food is, the spirituality of food on a deeper perspective. And I'm going to bring two tangible things that I discovered learning about just food therapy, and then also learning about nutrition, because I have a background in what you call food therapy. And if you never hear about food therapy, I'm going to explain it to you. So food therapy basically is studying the food from both a spiritual and a physical perspective. It includes metaphysical theories, which basically deals with the spirit of food. As you know, if someone is very simple, if you have you ever ate food from, you can tell there's no love in the food, like when someone is very angry, or you've cooked at home yourself and you are having a bad day and the food just doesn't taste right. And then there are days when you feel at peace and you follow the recipe in detail. You've done everything that you've done before, but the food just didn't come out right. And on another day, you're filled with joy and you cook the same food and it tastes fantastic. Everybody's licking the spoon. So it's the same thing. It's to say that food does have some spiritual components to it, right? There's a reason why, whether you look at the Bible or the Quran or any kind of metaphysical, even when you think about the gods, Buddha, Krishna, all kinds of gods, you realize that a lot of times people give food as offering. If you're working with the ancestors, you give offerings at your altar, because food has a very deep sacredness to it. It's something that in our world has come under fire a lot, with the chemicals and the GMOs and so much. But at the same, and with all the different wars and dramas and just so much, but food is a very, very, very spiritual process. So basically, when you study food therapy, you start to analyze food, the spirituality of food, the nutrition of food, but then you also study, the effects of disease and what's really happening. That the Chinese believe in macrobiotics. Disease start from a space of dis-ease. So when the body is in an emotional space where there's disturbances in a particular part of the body, or meridians are blocked, then it's the birthplace of disease. So that's something that, and we'll talk about macrobiotics in another video. Right now, this is more of me giving you a broader spectrum of what food therapy is. So I do have a certification in that. It was a great program. I've learned from all types of people, nutritionists. You learn about the psychology of food. I also worked for 2 years with an eating disorder clinic, and I got to really understand in depth with working with the therapists and the psychologists. I can't share the name just for the protection of the clients. Just really understanding people's relationship with food, how people view food, and as a result, they'll throw it back up, they'll binge eat, they'll starve themselves to the point where they get very sick. I was dealing with extreme cases. I've also worked with someone who, for a brief moment with PKU, have helped tons of people through weight loss issues, eating disorders, so many different things. And just different, help people to uncover the psychologies behind food. I've had clients and friends actually who would eat things that they can't stand just because they felt it was healthy. And I'm like, but what are you telling your body? You're dishonoring yourself. And we'll talk a little bit about that more. But, in a short story, that is what food therapy is. Really going through a therapeutic process and helping someone to uncover the deeper aspects of food. So I'm going to be sharing many, many more videos on deeper matters with food and help people to really uncover food. But today, right now, I want to talk to you guys about the chakras. Now, for those of you guys don't know what the chakras are, I'm going to show you a chart right here. Right? So pretty much, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chakras here. Bring it closer so you guys can see that. I'm gonna turn it around. I love my chakra chart. You know, for those who are Christian and might not necessarily relate to the concept of a chakras is basically different energy forces in your body. You know, the Bible talks about the spirit, right? So it's basically the different spiritual forces connecting together to work as a body. You know, the Bible says one body, many parts. In the spiritual world, we call these different life forces and any energy forces chakras, right? You know, you have the root chakras, and then you have all the way at the top the crown chakras. And I've learned there's actually much more chakras, because as you connect to the higher states of force, you know, the higher self, there's much more chakras. So what does food and chakras have to do with anything? You know, as you can see, chakras are pretty much like a rainbow, right? I'm going to show you guys something very interesting. Can you see this? So you notice, and this might be a little bit blurry, I'll bring it closer. You'll notice that we have a rainbow of food, phytonutrients, right? And the interesting thing, and I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see this, but you'll still see me, is that situating the camera a little bit more. So phytonutrients look a lot like the chakra chart, right? Interestingly enough. See, you have the red food at the top, and you have the brown on the bottom. I'm going to bring the chart back so you can see. Don't these look a lot alike? Right? So I have learned, I'm going to give you a basic breakdown of this. What does this have to do with anything? So if the chakras say, in order for you to keep your life forces in sync with each other, right, that you have to basically take care of all of these different levels to keep all of these from the chakra 1 all the way up to the 7, and it comes up and down. It's just life forces swirling. In order for you to do this, you have to keep those things in balance. It's the same thing with food. In order for you to keep your body in balance, you have to eat different colors of food. You keep your life forces together. You got to make sure your food has some red in it. You have to make sure that your vegetables have some orange, some purple vegetables, some green vegetables, some yellow vegetables. In order to keep your body in consistent flow and alignment, it has to have a balance of phytonutrients of the different colors. You know, the yellow in phytonutrients gives you the vitamin C. You know, the red is good for your eyes. You know, it has in lycopene, right? The blue, you know, are blueberries and plums. It has in what you call anthocyanins, which destroys free radicals. You know, purple, like eggplant and blueberries, it actually helps regulate your hormones. It helps regulate your estrogen, right? Funny enough, your estrogen is around this area too, you know, in your throat. So what is all of this is just to say, when you're eating your food and you want to keep your body in balance, you know, connect the food to your chakras. You know that when you're eating your yellow foods, you're, you know, connecting to your sacral chakra, which is right above the root chakra. You know, keeping your body in balance, making sure that the food really connects to your life forces and keep those life forces open and going. If you eat too much vegetables on the green side, maybe you need to help bring more balance to eating more vegetables that are red, eating more vegetables that are indigo, eating more vegetables that are blue, you know, or fruit, because I really is not a lot of blue vegetables. It's mostly fruit, right? Plums are considered blue. But the whole point is making sure that you maintain a sense of balance. You know, if you're having a hard time, with your heart, you just suffered loss, you are going through a heartbreak of a broken relationship, eat more green vegetables, increase your spinach and your kale and your bok choys and all that stuff, because what you're doing is you're supporting your heart, you're supporting your lungs, you're supporting that part of your body that is right now going through a hard time. You're having a lot of headaches, then you will try to eat food, because that's a lot to do with the compassion in the head. So you want to eat foods that help your pineal gland and your nervous system, right? Because that's like food that kind of in the pinkish area. So you want to eat like pink lady apples and different, even red stuff, tomatoes. You want to, help the eyes, eat, carrots and so forth. So this is just a small excerpt of, some of the things you can do to bring your chakras and your phytonutrients in and help your body to maintain what the end result is: homeostasis. You want your body to come into complete balance where it works and it grows and it connects well. So I know it was a mouthful, and I will definitely, post more videos on that in detail. But if you have any more questions, or you definitely, thought that this topic was interesting, let me know. Go to my website, natashachef.com. That's NATASHACHEF.com. Comment on the video, share it with your friends. Email me directly on the website. You can ask me any questions you like. If you are interested in, attending my workshops, I will have workshops coming up next year on many different topics, because I know a lot of you guys will be jumping on the weight loss bandwagon, and there's much more to say on that. I'm going to do another video on that very soon. But, connect with me. I want to hear from you. Thank you so much. Much love to you. Mwah, 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 mwah. That's my thing. I honor you, and I will look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you so very much for joining me on this video.